Obviously, I'm happy with the way the guys started the season. It's good for them, not only to get a win, but to do it in the way that we did. I think we were really committed to the defensive side of the ball. It's been something that we have really emphasized and have spent a lot of time at practices on really trying to hone in on how we can improve defensively and, make some physical plays. So we did a good job on the boards. Overall, that's one way that you can represent physicality. A lot of stuff in the paint, points in the paint was good. Another indicator of what type of physicality typically that you're playing with. And so I was happy. I was happy with all the things that we did offensively, but more importantly, I thought defensively we had a really good game and a really good level of energy to start the game defensively.
I'm sure there are certain things that you want to clean up as a coach, but is that just kind of the way it's supposed to look throughout the game, both offensively and defensively, answering their runs with your own runs? Is that just kind of the way you draw it up?
Yeah. I thought we did a good job of responding. A couple times we ended up calling a timeout, maybe once or twice, just to get guys settled down, and we came out and responded. It's the beauty and the value of having a lot of guys that can play. We played a lot of guys that can ultimately make a play offensively or make a shot, and then that can play within the framework of what we want to do defensively with a high level of intensity and energy and just being connected as a group, knowing what we're doing. So, but I thought we did a good job of responding, particularly once we got a lead. And then, it's difficult sometimes playing with a lead. It's easy to play from behind, right? We were behind 17 in the Wofford. What do you got to do? You have no choice but to play hard and well or go home. And so when you're up with a lead, sometimes, it cuts 5-6 points, get cut off that lead, and it can be difficult to play and still be aggressive and still be smart. And I thought we did a good job of that.
You mentioned how happy you were with the defensive play. How would you evaluate how y'all guarded Broadnax and Bailey, and especially Talon Cooper? Seemed like he was on Broadnax and did a pretty good job against him.
Yeah, he did do a good job. I thought his size overall bothered him. Broadnax is such a good player. He's smart and he's strong. He's strong for a perimeter guy, and he's real comfortable just around the basket. He's comfortable with contact, and so I thought we did a good job in a couple areas, 3 in particular. One, not many wide open shots, because those stare down threes are the ones that he makes. He can make at a high level. I thought we did another good job of just being physical with him and staying in front of him. So we drew a line in the sand that was, maybe just inside the free throw line or around the free throw line versus drawing that line in the sand really close to the basket. And then he's such a good player and smart player is once he picks his dribble up and starts pivoting and using his body and his size and his mass, he's really, really crafty at that. And we did a really good job of being disciplined and not getting our bodies out of position while he began to try to do that. So we forced him into a couple tough shots. He missed a couple of them, thankfully, and then we did a good job rebounding.
Coach, offensively, I think your effective field goal percentage is over 63%, if my math is correct. But okay. How were you guys able to, get that type of shot creation and be able to get the kind of looks that were seemingly really open, especially at the end of the first half?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job of playing inside out. We had some open looks also. Just a couple off the top. I know BJ had a really good look from 3. I think Jacoby had one in the opposite corner of our bench that was a really good look and that we generated. And, I think a lot of it was just ball movement. I think a lot of it, too, was just willingness to pass to and unselfishness to pass to a guy if you didn't have a great situation. And so we got the ball around. Oftentimes when you get the ball around the basket, the other 4 guys are watching what's going on. So I thought we did a good job of relocating to a spot. And then when their man overhelped or wasn't paying attention, we kicked. We played out of the back, skipped it to the other side and played out of the back a little bit. And so I think a lot of it was just ball movement. We were unselfish. We attacked when help came. We threw it to an open guy. And then because of that, we got some high-quality shots.
You talked about it a lot last week, getting guys involved. I think you guys had 10 guys that had multiple shots tonight. How important was it to see everyone get kind of a look? And do you feel like that's sustainable for the next few weeks and getting everyone kind of involved in the game?
Yeah, we'll see. in an ideal world, we got I don't think, got 15 guys, or how many ever guys that aren't redshirt and that are playing, how many ever that is, all those guys would get a chance to play double figures minutes and shoot the ball, but I don't think that's sustainable. But we have a lot of guys. There's not a lot of separation with some guys, and that can go either way. For us right now, it's been a good thing in that if somebody's not playing well or effective, then or gets injured or gets in foul trouble, we put somebody else in and they feel comfortable going into the game and executing what we want to execute. So, honestly, as we move forward, we'll settle into a couple things from a role standpoint, from a minute standpoint, rotations and substitutions. That's part of what the early season is. But I do anticipate us having a lot of guys going in and out of the game at some point or another, just because, it's basketball. You don't have your best stuff every day, and it's not due to a lack of effort. It's not due to a lack of practice. Every now and then you just have a day where you don't have your best stuff, and to be able to throw guys in, even for short spurts, to be able to carry the torch until somebody gets back and gets that on that second turn, maybe they start playing a little bit better. I think that's important for us.
With as many newcomers as there are on the team this year, what did tonight show you about the team's chemistry?
We had the foreign tour in the summertime, which always seems to work wonders for the chemistry. The guys always think those trips are about going to the beach and maybe they went to the casino a couple times or playing their games. They really think it's about playing the games, when the coaches, honestly, it's about all the other stuff that goes along with a trip like that. And it was awesome to see our guys. They had one day, actually, that they had no responsibilities, no team responsibilities. We didn't make them have breakfast at any particular time. They could do whatever they want. And the word gets back to us that they all spent the day together. So that was great. I think that works to really solidify some relationships, and bonds can grow during that time. It's a fun-loving group, honestly. It's a fun-loving group, and we don't have one selfish guy on the team, and that's a rarity. Honestly, that's a rarity. So we've done a good job of enjoying each other's company, playing for one another, and so we'll hit there'll be some adversity that comes along, and that'll be the true test. When we do that, are we still able to have the same spirit? Are we still connected in the same ways? And if we are, that's why the Wofford exhibition was a great situation for us. We had to make some moves after going down. It's hard to play a Division I team and be down 17 at half, and in 20 minutes erase that lead, and actually we did it in about 10. We went from down 17 to up 5 at the 10-minute mark. So a lot of that has to do with not just good play, but the fact that these guys enjoy playing together.
Kind of going off of that chemistry, you had 16 assists tonight and 11 against Wofford, so there's a little bit of an increase there. But being able to see these guys look for a pass before going for a shot themselves, despite the fact that this team has done a really good job of getting good looks for themselves, how important is that for you to see this early having that being established?
Yeah, it's paramount, I think, moving forward, because what's really hard is to try to get guys. Let's say no one's playing with each other, but yet individuals, 3 or 4 at a time out there, are playing really good one-on-one stuff. And you got 4 other guys that are accepting it because they're playing really well individually. What are you going to do? Be the guy that's unhappy that your team's winning and 4 guys are playing really well individually? Then when you hit rocky waters, to try to get that to go the other way and start to play as a team at that point, virtually impossible, right? And so I think you're always better suited to have a group that does it this way and is playing well. And then at some point you're going to want to – guys are going to fall in the roles, like I said. And we need Michi Johnson to step on the gas pedal. That's got to be part of what he does. And he's so unselfish that doesn't mean score all the time. Like, everybody thinks that's what you think. You need to create something, get yourself in a situation, then entrust your instincts and make decisions. And so we have a team that I think at their core is full of guys that are team-oriented guys, and that's a huge advantage.
Austin and Arden didn't suit up tonight. Is that an indication they're going to redshirt, or the plan?
It's a good indication. Yeah, yeah, it's a good indication. Today was the soft deadline for them to make decisions. I had meetings again with both of those guys and with Morris today, and Morris decided he wanted to play. And so the other guys probably will end up redshirting. I think I told both of them that it can be a really good year, this red shirt. You know, today, in today's world, when you throw the word red shirt out there, it's like the scarlet leather. It's a negative connotation associated with it. But you know, I've also seen some good players that grew over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks, and the red shirt came off. I don't anticipate doing that, but if somebody got to that point, I would do it. And then, you know, I think you have to be committed to playing someone at that point in time. But they'll probably redshirt, and it'll be good for them. They both need to make some improvements physically, but both of them talented guys, aggressive guys. They're both aggressive, good basketball players.
And I think the tentative plan when Morris came in early was for him to redshirt. He was in, I think, 5 minutes into the game tonight. What was the conversation like with him, and what has he shown you to be able to get out there that quickly and that often?
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, there was some level of reluctance for him to play. Not a lot, but I think it stemmed from he came here with a plan. He came here with a plan. He knew who he was. He knew what our belief in him was as a player, what we were projecting the future to be for him. And he and his group of people, close group, they loved that. And they had a great plan. It was a very good plan. And then plans deviate for one of a couple reasons. There's a change. Either you're ahead of what you thought or maybe behind what you thought. And he's ahead of what we thought. Just as a competitor, believe it or not, he's gained about 15 pounds since he's been here, amazingly enough. But he's ahead. He was ahead. And so I assured him that opportunity for him to play would certainly be there, and that we're a better team if he does not redshirt. And then I let him ultimately make the decision. I wasn't going to force him one way or the other. And, you know, he and his group decided that playing made sense, and we're glad to have him.
How do you use the first couple weeks of the college basketball season to tinker with different lineups and different guys on the court to see who fits the best and what roles are the best for guys?
Yeah, you know, a couple of these games early, if you can build a lead, there's some level of experimentation in terms of that lineups. And, you know, we had Zach out there playing the 4 today, and he's been good. It's another good game for him. He had a good Wofford game in that he went 3 for 6 from the three-point line. He had a good day. I don't even know what his stats were in terms of shooting the ball, but he didn't shoot the ball like that, but he still impacted the game in a good way. It seemed like he was rebounding in a crowd a lot of times. You know, had a crowd-pleasing dunk. Not that that's the end-all, be-all, but, you know, we all like to see that. But, yeah, I think these early games are an opportunity, or can be an opportunity, to tinker with a couple things if the game goes the way that you want it to. But practice, we use that for the same thing, and, you know, practice matters to us. So if you do good things at practice, you'll be rewarded in the game. You look at Eli is a perfect example for us. He goes out there, and the crowd loves it because he's a little small guy, but he's a good basketball player. He's a good basketball player. If he looked physically like some other guys in this league, I'm telling you, you're going to think I'm crazy. He would be a dude. He's a smart basketball player. He knows where to be positionally, defensively. He's reliable. He knows terminology. He knows where to be. It's just he's diminutive physically, right? And so, but I did it last year. He goes in out there against Alabama, against number 2 team in the country, and he bangs home a 3. He played 6 minutes straight in the first half. And so, you know, our team's better. We're deeper. We have more talent. So his opportunities probably would be a little bit more limited than they were last year. But it's just an example of, you know, putting some guys out there and seeing what happens.
Coach, it seemed like Michi was more aggressive with dribble drives and penetration into the lane, and that obviously created a lot of looks. But is that something he's been working on more in terms of being a better ball handler? And what does that do for your offense whenever he is aggressive with his dribble drive like that, like it was tonight?
Yeah, I think he's so fast. He has an elite gift of speed, straight line speed at any level, and so it's very difficult to stay in front of him if you give him an advantage. And where he's had some issues at times is he defaults to the jump shot because he also has range and can make jump shots. And then getting out of the concept of shooting effectively into the concept of driving. That transition's not as smooth as what it sounds. And so, so it's less really about the ball handling aspect of it for him and more about just attacking when you see an opportunity, right? When your man gets in a bad position because he gets overly aggressive, which tends to happen when guys want to pressure. Attacking. And it's so good for us because it puts tremendous pressure on the defense, and particularly when a guy can attack, and then when things are thrown at him at the last second, he can make good decisions out of that, and that's what Michi's been able to do on a pretty consistent basis. So we need him to continue to attack. And I'll tell you the other thing is with this charge block rule, the way they've changed it, it's really hard to come from the weak side and take a clean charge. It's very, very difficult. I show it at practice to guys. Last year, guys, this would have been a charge. This year, you have to be set by the time the heel of the takeoff foot is set on the planet on the ground. I'm telling you, you have to already be at the midpoint or closer to the ball. It's going to be impossible to come from the weak side and take a charge like you used to be able to. So for a guy like him that's a blur down the hill, if you get into a 1-2 takeoff and there's any contact, you should seek contact, right? And then I think he'll get to be the beneficiary of some block calls in those situations.
Coach, one of the big off-season additions was B.J. Mack for this team. What do you think makes him such a perfect fit for your system?
One, familiarity with him. So the non-basketball parts of it, I think all align. He's a great kid, tremendous kid. He's got a great personality and a really good smile. And so he enjoys this. All the work is something that he likes. So, but from a basketball standpoint, I love skilled, larger than average guys. I think he fits into that, you know. He's trying to develop as a guy that plays out of his shot fake off the dribble. He did that a little bit today. He made some strong moves around the basket. That was a welcome sight. And but he's a perfect fit because he can shoot, he can post, he can dribble enough. If you try to pressure him with a similar sized guy, he's effective in that area. And he can pass. And he's been around for a long time. But his skill set fits perfectly into the stuff that I like to do. Just throw it to him anywhere on the perimeter, around the basket, and then just let guys make some good decisions.
Obviously, Talon came in as a pretty experienced guy, but how have you seen him continue to grow and improve on both ends of the floor, and how it goes to see him do a little bit of everything tonight?
Yeah, Talon's had a lot of growth since he's been here. This is a guy that's played in the NCAA tournament before, so that experience is invaluable. This is a guy also that came from a team last year that had very little success, and so he's motivated to prove at this level he can be a key factor in turning things around and winning at this level. But he's grown a lot. I challenged him early in some individual defensive situations. I think he'll be the first. And, you know, you've been around for a long time and you have a good relationship with a guy, and then I turned it up on him a couple times. And, you know, that doesn't make you feel warm and fuzzy all the time. But because he's such a professional at his work ethic and that his commitment to what we want to get done, he accepted that information and he's responded to it. And he's been much, much better as a defender. And I only challenge him because I think he's capable of being a good defender. And we have to have some good defenders. Everybody can't be a run-of-the-mill guy. You have to have a couple guys that are good defenders. He's not all the way there yet, but I definitely think he's got potential just with his size, length, his instincts, and all that. And then obviously his ability to pass the ball and comfort level playing offense is obvious to see.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.